Okay, so first up, they sent out Cleaver, and I sent out Grimstar. I think they would have expected me to lead with my Galvantula, but I predicted that and went for the Grimsnarl lead instead. I went for the paralysis on the Cleaver straight away. As they go into that Stone Axe and do quite a good chunk of damage there, and also set those Stealth Rocks up as well. I go straight into the Reflect. I was tempted to go Reflect first, but I went for it second instead. And that close combat is going to take me down to red health there. Cleaver now obviously considerably weaker defensively after those stat drops there, but we're going to get out of there. And now we are going to send in Galvantula, who is obviously going to do what Galvantula does and set those sticky webs. So they go for the feint there on the Galvantula. And we go straight in to that sticky web there. Set that hazard down there. And what sticky web does is, of course, it makes it a problem for any Pokemon that does then want to switch in. Of course, Cleaver takes out Galvantula with that Stone Axe there. But we make it difficult for them to want to switch now. They've got a slow Pokemon in, and anything that comes in will be slow, which gives us a very good situation for bringing in Drifblim. So straight away we go into Strength Sap there. We know that they're going to want to go for that Stone Axe, but we immediately lower their attack, so we know that we're going to survive a Stone Axe quite comfortably there. They instead decide to go for the Night Slash, which does considerably less damage than a Stone Axe would have done. And we survive that quite comfortably there. Now we can stockpile. Stockpile, of course, boosting those defenses. They go for the Stone Axe and they miss. Hold that. Now, we Strength Sap again. Of course, Strength Sap lowering their attack and healing me for whatever their attack stat was, which essentially is going to keep me at full health because they're going to do less and less damage, and I'm still going to be able to heal it back. So another stockpile just means that I am super tanky. I'm still sitting behind that Reflect, by the way, as well, which is allowing Drifblim to do all of this setup here. So we're turning Drifblim into something of a wall, and that paralysis kicks in for me as well, doing me some favors. The reward off of that is now starting to pay off there as we get that third and final stockpile up, and we now are in a very good position. And another paralysis, we love to see it. There's that benefit, and now we can baton pass and get the bad intentions off. In comes Cinccino. Cinccino, a very unassuming Pokemon ordinarily, but now Cinccino is bulky as all hell. Takes that Stone Axe easily and now starts tidying up the field. We get rid of the Stealth Rocks on our side. We also get rid of the Sticky Web on their side, which is fine. We don't need it anymore because we are going to be faster than everything with the speed boost we get from Tidy Up. So anything that switches in now, we are going to outspeed them anyway. And now we can go for that Rock Blast with the boosted attack and the Technician ability. There's absolutely no way Cleaver is going to survive that. Get that out of here. Well, they think it's cool. They're going to send in Kyogre. Kyogre, of course, an incredibly powerful Pokemon, but hey, you got to take these Bullet Seeds straight to the face. And all it needs is one more, and that is a 3-hit on the Bullet Seed. And as Kyogre got away just as quickly as it entered. So now they're sending in Chien-Pao. They're really trying for it now. But we go for the Rock Blast. And that is going to be a 3-hit KO. And we do land that third one there. Chien-Pao is absolutely out of there as well. Not even getting a chance to do anything. So now in comes the Dragonite. Now, we've got options here. We probably think they're going to Terastallize, but if they don't, the Rock Blast is going to do the job. They have Terastallized. I probably should have gone for Tail Slap just for the added damage there from the stab, but let's see what we can do with Rock Blast. This is going to be a real test of our power because that Dragonite is going to have multi-scale. We know that. So that first hit's going to do far. And of course, the boosted extreme speed as well. There we go. And that we still survived that thanks to those boosts that got passed over from the baton pass, and this is looking like we're going to need a crit if we're going to get this done. Yeah, we did not get that done. Tail Slap would have got the job done there. And they're almost certainly going to extreme speed here. We could switch out and try and build this again, but realistically, Cinccino's done more than enough. Taken out 2 legendary Pokemon, a Cleavor, and got massive, massive chip on that Dragonite there. So now we send Grimmsnarl back out. Now, they do go for the extreme speed. Extreme speed does outspeed Prankster. I wasn't sure. I was going to try and get another Reflector, but such is the game. So now, Dragonite's looking a little bit scary, but we got answers to this. Because I think they've gone for the one where they only have extreme speed, and that just proves me correct there. They've got no coverage, so Drifblim is an absolute wall for that. And in comes Golden Go. So now we hit the stockpile here. Now, we can't use Strength Sap on Golden Go because of its good as gold ability. So we can't directly target it with the status move. So there it goes for that Shadow Ball, and that is big. That is big. The stockpile, I'm not sure if a second stockpile is going to allow me to survive the next hit of that. It might be a little bit too much. We're going to find out. Here is that Shadow Ball. Golden Go, of course, faster than Drifblim. Drifblim is gone. Now it's looking a bit techie. I probably shouldn't have greeded it. I should have gone straight for that Baton Pass. But now we're going to try and bring in Espatha. We'll protect just to get that first stat boost with the speed boost ability there. We protect ourselves. We know they're going for that Shadow Ball. We would expect that anyway. But now we go for the Calm Mind. And let's see if this gives us the means to survive it. We should be able to survive a Shadow Ball from this. We might be able to take it beyond being a 2-hit. And we get 1 hit there. That is a critical hit. That, I'm almost certain that mattered there. I'm almost certain that critical hit mattered. That's painful, but you know what? You live and you learn. We go to Plan C. Plan A and B are now gone. Plan C is Como. And we are going to Terrestrialize into the Steel type here. Just for that fantastic defensive type in there. We go for the Clang of Assault for the Omni boost at the expense of 1/3 of our HP, but we would survive any hit with that being the case. So we boost all of our stats right now. We are going to be looking fast, strong, bulky, all of that. And because we use the sound move, we get that first spray boost. And they go for the Memento. They sacrifice the Golden Go, who would have still given me a problem. They sacrifice that to drop my attack stats. So Golden Go is gone. We didn't have amazing coverage to deal with that, I'll be honest. But they didn't know that. And that is fine by me. So now they go for the Dragapult. And we go straight for those clanging scales and absolutely decimate that thing. I'm sorry, my guy, it's not your day. Clanging scales doing a huge, huge, huge damage. Even though we are back down to neutral special attack, Como is still that guy. So now they are in a little bit of a situation facing up against this Como with this Dragonite, who only has a normal move in extreme speed. And obviously I'm going to resist that. That's still a good bit of damage. That is a good chunk of damage there. But Boom Burst, more than enough to get the job done. That crit did not matter. And the Terrestrialized 1v1 to finish off. Como comes out on top, and the Bad Intentions win the day.